Welcome to Body Work. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Body Work Boxing. Oh man, what I always say around this time, y'all? I say just another manic Monday. But guess what? You are in a safe haven. Yes, a safe haven, man. We're going to get it in. We're going to build. I think this is going to be a good one, man. This is going to open up our eyes on how we see some things. You know what I'm saying? It's going to really start making us question, man, like this whole gaslighting thing. I hate to keep going back to it, man, because people, man, I guess, you know, we can't really focus on them. My only job is really to kind of help arm you so that you're prepared. So that you don't think that you out here going crazy, because, man, these boxing streets, they can be very, very hectic, man, and everything just changes from one day to the other, you know, with all this goalpost moving that they be doing. You know what I'm saying? So I just say, man, hey, look, man, it's a bunch of people out here that really want to get down with some real solidified boxing talk, man. Not this watered down stuff that we getting down and this agenda driven stuff that we get down, or just a lot of the things that we're getting, man. But anyway, back to the curriculum. What is gaslighting? Gaslighting is the action of repetitively and often brazenly lying to someone to manipulate and ultimately control them and the relationship. It could be divided into 4 different types: outright lying, manipulation of reality, scapegoating, and coercion. Common tactics used in gaslighting. I keep going back to this. Misdirection. The abuser changes the subject or redirects the conversation to confuse the victim. Minimization. The abuser downplays the victim's feelings, making them feel like their concerns are insignificant or like they're being overly sensitive. We went into scapegoating, the act of blaming a person or group for something bad that has happened or that someone else has done. And they gave the example of the scapegoating of immigrants, like blaming people, you know, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But this is just a reminder, man, because I don't know why it's so funny now when I be listening to people talk now and I be hearing these boxing conversations. I be like, man, oh, I see what that is. It's something about they say repetition is the mother of learning, or the key to learning. You know, just like when you learn how to tie your shoes, and like the more and more you see it and you accustom yourself to it, the earlier it is you recognize it, man. You don't even get triggered. Like, I don't even really get all that upset no more. I just be like, man, okay, I see what this is, man. Save you. It'll keep your blood pressure down. Coercion, the practice of persuading someone to do something by using force or threats. Our problems cannot be solved by any form of coercion, but only by agreement. That, like, remember I told y'all that that's what people are resorting to now. Now they can't use their brains, so they getting all physical and threatening. Oh man, I'll come out there. Oh, don't make me drive. I'll be at this fight. We gonna, getting all rah. I'm like, man, this is boxing talk right now online, man. That's all this is. But we always talk about the solutions. And somebody might not have got it. So for the people that be, you know what I'm saying, coming on a regular basis, some people might not have got it. And like, again, repetition is the key. How do you outsmart a gaslighter? The 8 tips for responding and taking back control. That's what we need to do. We're trying to take back the control. We're trying to take back control over the boxing conversation. You know what I'm saying? We like the 300. It don't take a lot of us, but we can take it over. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing my man Coquille out there doing that body work. I be so happy, man. I be like, man, I want to chime in, but I don't, you know, I'm just happy to see him out there doing this thing, man. He be putting that body work. He be laying people down flat. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, he's taking back control over the conversation. I'll be seeing him, man. Proud to know that guy. But the first step is make sure it's gaslighting. Make sure it's gaslighting. Make sure you ain't the one tripping. Take some space from the situation. Remember I told y'all about the pebble in the eye mentality, where when you got a pebble in your hand and you got it up to your eyes, overshadowing everything. But if you just extend that elbow and you look at it from afar, that pebble don't look so big. That's the whole thing. Collect evidence, which I'm always collecting evidence. I'm always keeping track. I'm always watching. This is the pulse of boxing. Speak up about the behavior, man. That's what the SIC stand for, y'all. The S.I.C. That's silence is consent. And if you're not saying anything, that means you agree to it. Yeah. If you ain't saying nothing about it, that means you agree to it. This right here is step number 4. Speak up about the behavior. Like, don't let somebody just keep saying it, because people get repetitive. Now, unless you're just collecting evidence and you're seeing how many times or how far they're going to push the envelope, that's something different. You're collecting evidence. If you're collecting evidence, don't say a lot. Just keep collecting evidence. You know what I'm saying? But when you get a chance, speak up about it, man. Say something, be like, nah, man, that ain't right. Or nah, man, you off. Because I think we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We really don't do that. Remain confident in your version of the events. Don't be fabricating them, but remain confident in what, because people ask you something 3 times. Like me, I don't like repeating myself. But a lot of people ask you the same thing over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Focus on self-care. Involve others. So if there's other people that think and act like you or whatever, involve somebody else. And if not, seek professional support. AKA, come get body work. You know what I'm saying? Come get body work. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can work it out. You know what I'm saying? That would be professional help in this gaslight, man. I think I'm getting pretty good at recognizing it. Being able to diffuse it, being able to shut it down real quick. You know what I'm saying? Being able to just like make people just get quiet and just stop in their tracks, man. It's something awesome, man. You might not have to say much, man, but when you do go ahead and say what you gotta say or communicate what you gotta get across. Very, very effective. And you're saying all this to say what, Mike? I want to paint a picture, y'all, because I don't think y'all really know this. Y'all don't really know what, Mike? I don't think y'all really know that there's some things going on and we're really not paying attention to them when we really should. Like, I mean, y'all know that it's really a Cold War. It's really a Cold War. In order for some of these points to come across, I gotta paint this picture that it's a Cold War going on. You might not realize what's going on, but those are 2 of the baddest men on the planet. They fight at 135 pounds. That is actually where all the attention should be. However, we are in belief that Gervonta Tank Davis now is fighting Frank Martin. Everybody agrees that the fight between him and Shakur Stevenson is the best fight, skill for skill, that could be made at 135. Yes, that's what we believe. You know, I think a lot of people may have tried to get people's trains off the tracks, and a lot of people might have like sidestepped this conversation or been trying to flank it or angle it, or, you know, it's a lot of people that say, oh man, well, I don't want to do nothing with Tank. I blame Tank. You know, he just, man, come on, man. Tank. You know, everything is just Tank. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna fault Shakur? How you gonna fault Shakur for that, man? It was one bad performance, man. That was just one bad performance. Like, you know, it's just, man, come on, man. It's Shakur, man. Like, you know, he the best, man. He gonna stop Tank Day. Like, you know, a lot of extremism going on. And like right now, you can't get no quality sources, man. Ain't no quality sources out here. You know what I'm saying? So right now, they got us by the cojones, because they reached down in our pantalones and they got us by them guys, and they're just swinging us around right now. And this is the fight that should be made. This is the fight. This is the biggin. You know what I'm saying? This is the end all be all. but it's a cold war going on, and if you haven't been paying attention to these little signs and these symptoms, I'm gonna let you know. But then it speaks to something broader. You know what I'm saying? I believe that it's a new era. Like, remember they used to say the 4 kings and all that. I really do think that it's starting to really crystallize. It's 4 names that really starting to crystallize, and then you got a couple people that's on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? But when we talk about highly acceptable in any kind of range, any kind of mixing or matching, it's a couple of new names. It's been a shift in this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that some of it does entail that 35 and 40 are interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? I think there needs to be, to establish supremacy at 135. This is what it is right here. It's a cold war. It's a cold war. This is really what it's all about at 135. And this is really what it needs to be established right now at 135. People acting like they don't really recognize that this is what everybody should be aiming for. This is the real energy that needs to be put into these guys right here. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because I'm going to paint this picture for you. When Shakur Stevenson was actually beefing with Floyd Schofield, somebody came out and they put this up. They posted this. It says, Michael MJ Fitzpatrick, man, if at Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield beat at Abdullah Mason, then he will have every right to want that big payday with at Shakur Stevenson. Until then, Buddy don't have enough pull to get what he want. Buddy better eat what's on his plate first. Shakur Stevenson. And this is where the whole Twitterology, you know what I'm saying, Twitter breakdown and all that comes into play. You know, in my regard, this is where that comes into play. Shakur replies, or starve, because he too, I wish a fighter at a higher level who is a bigger star than me would give me a deal like that. Target emoji, bullseye emoji. Now, this is where we got to be real. I don't know if we got to really be real creative, but I mean, we can use our imagination a little bit, or we can like kind of deduct or infer or extrapolate or whatever kind of big word y'all want to, you know, insert inside that situation right there. It says or starve, because he's too what? He's too putty tat. He's a little putty tat. Is that what he's saying? So he's saying that Kid Austin is a little putty tat because he said, hey, look, man, you got food down there. Handle Abdullah Mason, which is a tall task, might I add. But we got to think, Kid Austin was going back and forth with Keyshawn Davis too. But he was like, look, man, he said he a putty tat because Kid Austin should be fighting Abdullah Mason. If he don't want to get that work, because he's saying that if he do fight Abdullah Mason and get past him, he deserved to fight with Shakur Stevenson. And he say or starve because he's too putty tat. I wish a fighter at a higher level. Kidneys, what y'all think? At a higher level, who could he be talking about? I'm clueless. I wish a fighter at a higher level who is a bigger star than me. Who would be a bigger star? Who? Within reason now. Who would be a bigger? Because I know that's been there, done that. You pulled that card, but when it comes down to I wish a fighter at a higher level who is a bigger star than me will give me a deal like that. Who could he possibly be talking about? Oh yeah, Oh yeah. We don't take things for face value. We do that body work. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, stick with me, man. We gonna get down to the nitty-gritty now. How does that apply to this situation, Mike? That's all I want to know. I'm gonna break it down. Let's take you on a journey. No, let's take you on a journey here. Let's see. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let me share this with you guys. SB Nation, you know how I gotta do with my sources, you guys. You know how I gotta do with my sources, SB Nation. Came out with an article. Boxing news. Boxing news, analysis, boxing interviews, and quotes. This is the headline. If it makes sense, I'm down with it. Shakur Stevenson open to potentially fighting Subriel Matias. Remember when I said why not? Because he opened up a can of worms when he said Teofimo Lopez was looking like food. Y'all remember when he said Teofimo Lopez was looking like food? He'll go, you know what I'm saying? Because him and Keyshawn, they was going, man. He had words for T.O. And I said, wow. Did he just open up a can of worms by saying he would go to 40? Because if you would go to 40, would you just go to 40 for T.O. or would you go for a Subriel? And I was a little ahead of my time. I seen that a lot of people got the memo a little bit late. They tried to come out and act like it was a thought of their own. You know what I'm saying? Those guys laced their pockets. That's why I say silence is consent. You need to stop these guys when you see them using the product. You know what I'm saying? I call that black magic. You don't put cut on that. Or at least you give credit where credit is due. But anywho, you know what I'm saying? It's more sauce. You know what I'm saying? It's more secret sauce. Whatever you want to call it, where that came from. I'm not concerned about that. Shakur Stevenson talks about support from Puerto Rican fans and his interest in facing one of its rising stars. And what's today? February the 26th? It's today this came out today. This is the pulse of boxing. February 26, 2024 at 10:22 a.m. Article by Will Esco. That's my sources. Got your boy up there, you know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson questions how Subriel Matias could handle a style like his. Look at them guys. Let's get down to it. Newly unretired Shakur Stevenson spent time on a recent podcast to talk about a number of subjects, including promoting his Puerto Rican heritage and where his interest is in facing Puerto Rican slugger Subriel Matias, who's been looking for a big fight. Here's some of what he had to say below. Stevenson on how he feels about support he receives from Puerto Rican fans. I love the fans that take me in and they put it out there and say they support me and rock with me in that type of way. I don't want to force it on nobody because at the end of the day, like I said, I didn't know my father. I really didn't know my father. If we're going to be real, I appreciate the ones that do accept me, but I got to keep it real with them when I speak on it. So he's clarifying his heritage, which is so sad that he really got to do that. He did that a long time ago, but people have been spearing Shakur for a long time, man. I used to stand in the gap for him, man, all the time, man. It was exhausting. Sad that he got to actually clarify that. You know what I'm saying? His father, Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, he's still explaining that. On what he thinks of a potential fight against Subriel Matias. I think that's a hell of a fight right there. He another one that looked like you got to kill him or he's not going to stop coming. So the only thing is him dealing with a style like me. Because you got to realize, I'm not the normal average that's going to stand there for you to make them quit. So it could be an interesting fight. I've got nothing but respect and love for him. Hopefully that dude will get them big fights at 140. If it makes sense, I'm down with it. If it makes sense, he said he's down with it. So, let's change gears. Let's change gears. Let's go here. Let's go. Let's change gears over here. We got to let the beat build. Yeah. So, this came out the other day. Boxing scene. You know what I'm saying? Everybody running through the boxing scene. And you see all the latest events over there on the right. Subriel Matias promised to knock out and retire Teofimo Lopez, says Haney runs like a chicken. So prophetic. So prophetic, Subriel. Manuk Akpayan. This was on Friday, February 23rd. About 3:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm talking about? Subriel Matias made sizzling statements during a Matchroom Boxing press conference Friday, introducing the IBF Junior Welterweight champion as its latest star signee. After fighting for several years on PBC shows, the knockout artist, he embraces that knockout artist too. I like that. Matias, 20-1, 20 knockouts, signed a multi-fight deal with Eddie Hearn earlier this month. Man, Matias is slated to next fight in June in his native country of Puerto Rico. Australian Paro, 24-0, 15 KOs, who knocked out Montana Love in December, has been leading the conversation as possible next opponents for Matias. Before his next fight is announced, Matias made sure that the boxing public recognized him as the best junior welterweight in the world, all while taking shots at the division's current champions. I'm here. You're watching the best 140 fighter in the world, said Matias. I feel like I am going to go and destroy my opponents, and that is what I want to do in the future. I'm really confident in my abilities. All I need is the opportunity, and I think people are going to see that opportunity now. My security and confidence in myself can be considered arrogant at times. But if we're talking about other fighters like Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and I won't even talk about Rolando Romero because he's a comedian. I will face any opponent that is put in front of me. I will knock out and retire Lopez and Haney. I don't know because he runs like a chicken. The hard-hitting 31-year-old Matias last fought in November and dominated Shojahan Ergashev. The stoppage win was the fifth fight in a row in which Matias forced a fighter to quit, as well as the first defense of his title. The 5-fight winning streak also started after Matias' first career loss to Petros Anayan in 2020 via unanimous decision to defeat. He has since avenged with a stoppage win against Anayan in 2022. Hearn is particularly bullish on the star he's signed. We wanted to sign Subriel for a long time, and now the time has come, said Hearn. In my opinion, he's one of the most exciting and dangerous pound-for-pound fighters on the planet. He's already a world champion, so people don't have an excuse not to fight him, even though they're coming up with a whole lot of excuses, Eddie. You got a whole lot of excuses, man. He wanted all the smoke and all of the big names in the division. Matias, Puerto Rican promoter Juan Orengo of Fresh Promotions said they've been struggling to secure premier fighters to face him, but that should be coming to an end soon. He's already a big name, but he wants to be even bigger, said Orengo. Manuk Akpayan is a sports journalist, writer, and broadcast reporter. He's also a member of the Boxing Writers of Association of MMA Journalists Association, all of that fancy stuff, all of those credentials. Fair use, fair use, fair use. So we got all this. I'm painting this picture for y'all, man. I'm painting this picture for y'all, man. I'm painting this picture for y'all, man. So do you feel? Are y'all actually seeing and feeling where I'm going with all of this? So when I go back to this statement, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to come out now and get to these comments, but I want to lay out this foundation so we'll know exactly where we're going and what we're talking about today. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna we don't snipe people either unless they got some crazy they posting up or something like something that's gonna get their channel demonetized or something like that. We don't snipe nobody, you know what I'm saying? We do body work, or we just starve them until they leave us, you know, till they leave. You know what I'm saying? And go night like we did Ashley Larry, or like we do Larry all the time. We just gotta tell them go night. He get a little hard headed, but we don't snipe nobody in here. We don't block nobody or do nothing like that. But when I go back to this, he say or starve because I wish a fighter at a higher level who is a bigger star than me would give me a deal like that. Who was he talking about? Who was he talking about? And then what does he mean by if it makes sense? If what makes sense? If what makes sense, that man has a belt, that's legacy. You wanted that one big fight, that one big now. Eddie seemed to think he's a star. Got the whole country of Puerto Rico there. You know, I think this is where perception, this is why I be saying the gaslighting. And see, I got to speak to this as a Tank fan, as a Subriel fan, and as a Shakur fan. I'm a fan of all of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of all of them. But I got to speak to it on 3 different levels to clarify it on 3 different ways. One, he's saying if it makes sense. Everybody know that he's over there with Bob. Everybody know that since he got that title, he got 1 fight left, because it's rarely, we go over this all the time, it's rarely that they let you get a title or win a title, and then they're going to allow you to exit stage left with that title. You're going to have an obligation, you know what I'm saying, before you actually get going with what you're going with, you know, before you be able to get out the door. You're going to have some kind of obligation. So one, a lot of these fighters get to speaking freely, like they really have an option to be able to go do X, Y, and Z, and they really don't. But I always point out how it's real convenient when they're actually playing the predator and they see somebody as prey. We see how the language is. When they running down on something, they got that predatory language. You know what I'm saying? But when somebody, a la Subriel Matias, is running down them, they're using their inside voices. They're lowering their damn tones. So what we got to really understand is that sometimes these boxers, they be so excited and they be talking and I think they be thinking that it's a form of promotion, but then it speaks to us as fans as well, as far as like, okay, what can we get behind? Now you got some brainless folks out here that just gonna run blind and get behind everything you say, and every little tweet they're gonna get all up in the armor and think that it's the gospel, and they're gonna yell preach, and they're gonna send their offering, they're gonna gangbang all day, every day in your name. Not us. We gotta use a little bit of reasoning, a little bit of logic. We gotta understand that he's over there with Bob. Bob got him on the 1 deal. Bob is really not offering Shakur up for anybody. You know what I'm saying? I think Bob had a plan for him and Navarrete, possibly, or you know, he was trying to do a round robin with Kambosos and Loma, but I think Loma getting the belt, trying to get back to try to be in a position to be in the running for undisputed. I still think that's his last priority. I think that's his highest priority. You know what I'm saying? And with Shakur being 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you know, and then, you know, almost like in a roundabout way, kind of being the same kind of, almost like the same way Bud was over there, where he's an excellent fighter. You know, this most recent performance, it was a little lackluster. People desired more, but everybody know that Shakur is, well, I call him the definition in my boxes to watch. Everybody know that boy is nice with putting down the 1s and the 2s. You know what I'm saying? Had a little, you know, wrinkle in his performance. It happens. Had a bad night. That's the sensibility on my part. But our sensibility got to know that this man is locked in over there with Bob. So, to speak to it as a resident Tank fan, I'm a resident Tank fan. Yes, he's the man. Yes, people be trying to say that he can pick, choose, and refuse. And yeah, they would take this. Yes, if somebody sent down an offer and the money was big enough and this, if was a fifth, we all be drunk. We know that. We all know that. But I'm hearing a lot of stuff about, well, oh man, this Frank shouldn't be happening, man. It should be Shakur. It's like, stop it. You know he's over there where he's at. He got Bob. So the same way when I'm starting to scrutinize whether or not this is a smoke signal or this is serious smoke for Subriel Matias, the same way I'm analyzing that, I gotta realize that he's over there with Bob. Bob ain't saying anything. He's not actually releasing them. Eddie is saying, look, we got the money. This guy wants one of the big names. Subriel is waiting to cut his teeth on something. That's an excellent fight. That's a big name. We got, you know, a guy moving up. They got all the intrigue. You know, the ultimate skilled boxer versus the puncher, because they don't think that Subriel boxes, but we got the hard, the heavy hitting puncher. You know what I'm saying? Knockout artist against the superb, you know, skilled boxer, elite level boxer, classical boxer, however you want to put it, whatever glowing phrase or adjective you want to, you know, embellish on that, go right ahead. But we got to be realistic and say that, look, man, sometimes these boxers just be talking, they be anxious, they be wanting to let us know that, hey, we down, but in realistic, man, there ain't really no real, we shouldn't really be getting too excited, man, because the same way Subriel Matias is coming out saying that he would knock out Teofimo Lopez came on and said, oh man, I want somebody that's going to fight me. I want him to stand, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much, come on, fight me. Because Jermaine Ortiz, the narrative was all he did was run. You got Subriel Matias right there. He has the promoter right there. He has a belt, which is legacy, right there. And they want to be all on social media. They want to run around the different channels doing interviews and avoiding, you know what I'm saying, what the real deal Holyfield is. Now, I do believe Bob would offer up Teofimo Lopez. I think that he knows that it's you know, it's bang or bust with Teofimo Lopez. It's hot or cold. It's fire or ice with Teofimo Lopez. It's bang or bust when it comes down to Teofimo Lopez. And I think at this point in time in his career, I'm thinking Bob would offer up Teofimo Lopez. He would be able to skate right on over there on Matchroom with the zone. You know, don't act like he hasn't had the DAZN experience, a la Cambosis. He'd be able to do it, and they can get it on. But once again, Subriel Matias is actually showing everybody he's still in the mess hall with his chest out, and he's still taking cornbread. What do y'all think? How do y'all feel? What's going on? I had to paint some backdrop, man. Y'all know that it is, look, this is real, y'all. It's really a Cold War. It's really a Cold War. I've been seeing these little things. I've been tracking what's going on, and they really, you know what I'm saying, I think that they're not outright disrespecting each other and all that, but they know that it's, you know what I'm saying, they two predators in the same division. They're gonna have to get it on eventually. But with somebody that, with a lot of these guys saying they'll move this and they willing to do that and they willing to go there, and we don't ever bring up promotional boundaries when that happens. But when we get defensive of our people and you know, it's like, oh man, come on, man, you know he's with Bob. It's like, well, we gotta act like that through and through in these boxing conversations. We can't just pick, choose, and refuse when we want to acknowledge that. I'm going all the way up, all these comments. It was a lot, man. Arnaldo Nieves, saludos, body work, Trivio, Borica, salute. What's up, bro? Body work, Jose Rodriguez. Hey, but it seems like Shakur doesn't want that smoke. We getting to it. We getting ready to break this down. Champion Sports Boxing, salute, body work, salute. CSB, salute. For any reason he has. That's what we trying to, you know, me, I gotta use the sources. Don't be saying I made this up. Don't, like, help me. As a fan of all three of them guys, Tank, Subriel, and Shakur, I want to play it right on both sides. You're not gonna catch me out here being sloppy and trying to make it seem like you said this, I can't infer that, I can't reason this. You know what I'm saying? You can't do me like that. I got your back. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta know how to represent you. I gotta know what we on. You know what I'm saying? Is it really real? Are these smoke signals or this, you know what I'm saying, some serious smoke? Josh John, what up, bro? Salute. Smash that like button for body work. That's right. Please, y'all, smash that like button, por favor. Senors and senoritas. Eggy, Coqui, don't want to let them fight. Veterano, yo, salute, salute. It sounds like someone is getting their body work. Shakur needs to get that De La Santos rematch. I was for that. I say that too. Rematch is the only thing that makes sense for Shakur. Eleazar, Cruz, salute. Shakur vs. Tank sounds good too, definitely. That's what it really is, y'all. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. Everybody knows that. They got to handle what they got to do. I think they got to handle their business. They got some things they got to clean up, and they got to meet, man. This should be next. Like, depending on what Shakur do now, if he resign over there, that's going to be the answer, y'all. It's just like we can't give Tank all this flack, but then, you know, Devin get to jump from promoter to promoter. You know what I'm saying? And play ring around the rosies. Tank and Shakur is a good fight to make. Absolutely. That is the fight to make. Buzz boxing in the building. Body work. Salute. Definitely a good fight. Abdullah, smaller version of Boots. Jose Rodriguez, PR Boxing. What up, body work boxing? What's up, PR? Good to see you back in the building. Stop and say hi. All right. Cool. Melazar Kanseba. Salute. I know the answer, in my opinion. I know you gonna know. I know you know the answer, man. Matias versus Shakur is nice too. It won't be like De La Santos because Matias knows how to close the ring. Plus, he hits harder than De La Santos. Shakur is top level. Not gonna lie, but his last performance was not good at all. Yeah, he had a, you know, he survived. He showed me he got a survival kit now, and that's gonna come in play. It's good that he got a survival kit because he didn't take an L. I like Shakur a lot and rock with him, but Matias is all wrong for him. He's saying he not nothing. Like, what did he say in his own words? What did he say in his own words? Only one way to know is step in the ring. Shakur Stevenson. Help me promote you, Shakur. Like, I'm promoting you, man. I'm promoting you. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's why we gotta kind of like, we gotta act like we see what we see, man, and we gotta speak on what we see. People can't be willing, because I was the same one that was offering up when I said why not, and I had offered up Matias to go up and see Boots. I also offered for Boots to go up and see them 54 pounds. See, I keep the same energy. I'm consistent. People saying, nah, with Boots, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's just Stanionis and, you know, and Boots. You like, no, I keep that same energy. Because I too was one of the ones saying, okay, well, we seen T.O. trying to go up and see Bud. And Bud was like, man, come on, man, I'm trying to do, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was cool that Bud didn't jump down on that, even though that was easy work. For Bud, if that's really easy work, I would have picked up that easy work. Especially like right now, looking at everything, I probably would pick up that easy work. But I was just saying when I say, okay, well, cool. It's clear that he's not gonna get that Bud smoke. Why not Boots? Crickets. I was saying, why not T.O. go up there? If you are complaining about somebody not being there, you needing the GPS to find somebody. You have Subriel Matias, he's actually on your bumper. You got Boots, he ain't going anywhere. You know, so I didn't think I was being unreasonable when I said this should open up a can of worms. Because they want him, because Keyshawn also was saying he would go see T.O. and he would do this, and that's 35 and 40. See, they play, and people dismiss the fact that they blur these weight classes when they want to, when it's convenient. When it's something that they want to do, something that they want to jump on, it's convenient. Because we already know what they're capable of. People only lock in those little and try to make it all cinch and fit tight and all that when it don't fit the narrative as to them wanting to fight a person. Yeah. But we just seen the big example. We just seen a big example of, you know what I'm saying, when you got ownership and you got control and you can actually pull the trigger and you taking the bull by the horns and you're pointing your career at somebody, you can point and say, hey, I want you. And you can have it. You know what I'm saying? It's all in who the handlers really want to see it go down. Like, that's really what it is. So we don't get gaslit out here. Don't have people having you pull your hair out. You run around cursing people out and stressed out because, oh my gosh, and people getting so crazy online, like everything. I seen somebody do a video about how Shakur had gave who he give his props to. Oh, Shakur had gave his props to Andy Cruz. Saying how you know how stellar he looked. He's like, man, he's like, Andy Cruz, man, you look sharp out there. The first comment in there was like, yeah, but leaving up to somebody like Stank Davis and all. It's like, yeah, it's like that's embedded. So you got to know how people perceive things when you have these conversations, man, because a lot of times the true answer is somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying? If you're dealing with two extremists, you're never going to get the right answer because neither one has a level head. They just want to be right. That's the whole thing. See, a lot of people out here, they just want to be right. But guess what? I just want to see the fights. Now, I will correct it. I will decipher. I will break it down and make it all logical sense to where it's like, oh, no, that don't make sense. That's a double standard. And you can have your own opinion, but these are double standard. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to gaslight me because I understand. I peep it. I've been watching. I've been studying. You know what I'm saying? I've been putting this all together. I've been tracking. So I already know when it's a difference of energy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said, man, I'm starving out that bread and circuses, that circus that's going on. I'm starving it. And look at it, it ain't doing good. Why? Because he should be fighting Subriel Matias. He should be fighting Subriel Matias. He should be leading the way, doing something unprecedented, you know what I'm saying, and fighting Subriel Matias. Yeah. Hector Tap, blessings, my brother. Salute. I got Matias over Shakur. The only way Shakur is winning that fight, literally running. Really, I don't want to see this fight. I mean, they the best, man. Shakur said he had a hurt arm or something, man. If Eddie can get that man over there, him and Bob can set something up. I don't think they want to let that belt. I don't think they're gonna let that belt pounce out the door. But I'm telling y'all this to actually make a point, y'all. I'm showing y'all this. This is a double-edged sword. I'm actually telling y'all this and showing y'all this to actually make a point so that some logic can be infused in some of these conversations we having. If we know that fight really can't happen, but we entertain it, why would we be entertaining anything else that don't involve anybody over there top rank for this last deal that's in and around that weight class, like a Morataya? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like one of them guys over there at 35. I mean, where they're not friends. You know what I'm saying? They really. So we can acknowledge that can't really happen. We can acknowledge that can't really happen when it comes to what's going on over there until that deal is done. Is the light bulb coming off? Like, is the light bulb popping off? That's what I want to know. Because the conversations are getting crazy out here. Matias would do them big stalking steps to Shakur. Yeah. I want to see it because everybody keeps saying, man, have y'all noticed in the last 2 weeks, a lot of people been saying that Subriel Matias is easy work. Oh, man, he outboxes him easy. I'm like, if it's so easy, y'all know how we feel about easy work. What Shakur Stevenson think is going to punch, not get punched? Yeah, he think he gonna punch and not get punched. He could go in there and do it. I'm just like, man, let us see it. Stop giving us these scenarios where we engage in these conversations and we know where they can't happen, man. Because it make us look bad, and then it make it like, oh man, you rocking with. I'm like, yeah, I rock with them. It's just they be changing. They all be changing their minds. They all do it. Subriel Matias don't. Subriel don't be changing his mind, man. That's why it's like, man, you don't need a GPS to figure out what he thinking. You don't need a GPS to figure out where he at. You don't need a GPS to figure out where he going. You don't need a GPS to figure out where he gonna be. You know what I'm saying? That's my cup of tea. Trust me, Matias is a straight killer. He would close that ring like no other with just one punch. Hurt Shakur, Haney, or any other boxer that like that bite. Yeah. I just want to see it. I just want some accountability, man. I just want a little bit of accountability and some reasoning and some logic sprinkled in there. Subriel said he would fight the devil if he had to. LOL. I believe him. Matias was getting lots of love at the Berlanga fight. Yeah, I like to see that too. CSB, I had liked to see that, man. They Eddie on him, man. Eddie know he got something, man. Eddie know he got something. They all talk, but don't step in the ring. So what's that called? That's why I'm here. That's why we're here, to establish that. That's, you know, y'all see it with Tweetology. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get a Tweetology protocol. If they said it, because normally, you know, if you treat it like the word, you know what I'm saying, then they say if it can be taken literal, then take it literal. If it's not, then it's figuratively speaking. So I'm thinking, man, when we read them, if it can be taken literal, we gotta take it literal. If it can't be taken literal, we gotta look at it as if it's figurative. That's Tweetology. That's how I'm about to start looking at the tweets. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody say, look, man, I will put my foot all the way up in your, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, he just, figuratively speaking, he's saying that he would like to give you that work. You know, it's really, you can't, I mean, you could. You could, you know what I'm saying? You could pull that off, you would be a bad man. You know what I'm saying? If you could, you know what I'm saying, like literally do that, you could. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it ain't never happened before. I just want to know who Matias' next confirmed opponent is. That's all, man. That's all I want to know too. All I tell them, if any of them are going to step in the ring, bring two things: a towel and a stretcher for when they leave the ring. Yikes. Matias is at higher mental strength level. Physically, he's very good and getting better and better. The other 140 champions doesn't have that, my opinion. Angelina, Paro, Duck, yeah. They still had that in that article. That was Friday, but yeah, I'm still thinking, man, it might be some misdirection or whatever. I don't know, man, but I'm sitting there looking at it like, man, this man Eddie I know they got some bread. I know they got some bread for somebody. It's a title shot. I thought it was Elvis, man. I wanted to get confirmation it was on Elvis, man. It's a ways out. You know what I mean? It's some time. You know, it's some time on the clock. But it's still slim pickings, man. Subriel got Puerto Rico and Mexico behind him. I think he growing in the States too, man. I want Matias and T.O. I do too. But I'm thinking, man, something to say Bob would sacrifice T.O. I think he would. He would give T.O. a shot. You know what I'm saying? And T.O. would have to rise, you know what I'm saying, in that moment. But I think that his psyche might be a little bit too fragile right now. They're trying to hide, you know what I'm saying, do interviews and mask everything. But if you don't get away, man, and go really deal with what's going on with you, really get healed from some of that stuff, it's just gonna be the same old thing. Anybody say any little thing to you, they can get in your head real easily, like throw you off your game. Like you're fragile. Your psyche is just fragile. So you need to go get yourself together, man. Take like 3 weeks out of the media. You know what I'm saying? Don't go do no ayahuasca or whatever they be doing. Don't do none of that crazy stuff. Just, you know, have some tea, stretch, exercise, do yoga, purge from social media. Regroup, man. Talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Get some counseling, man, and come back and be your best. Like, that's just me. It's not hard to find Matias in the ring. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's crazy that everybody say, oh man, you know how they say, oh, don't run. Don't run. I want somebody. He gonna be right there. Trust me. He ain't going nowhere, man. Trust me. And it's like, no, but it's a lot like relationships. People get in relationships. People like, oh man, I want this and I wanted that and they get that and it's like, oh, I don't know if I really want that. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. Bill was saying that Ryan is trying to pull out the fight. Well, if it doesn't happen, you know, I'll be looking for Devin Haney to stop being El Pollo. Like Subriel say, El Pollo. Bubs, bodywork, what's good? Yeah. Subriel waiting for you. Top ranked deal protected Teofimo. That's why Matias at the zone. Yeah. When Matias gets into the ring, his killer instinct clicks in. He's been through a lot in his life, and that makes him very dangerous. The other 140s have no idea when someone has that mentality. I think they know, man. That's why they not there. I think they know. I love Cole, but is he about that life? Because Subriel is. My man Smoke in the building. Salute, pimp. What it do? Salute, Smoke. Good to see you, man. 354. A little bit behind. Orlando Garcia. Nice channel. Salute. Thank you. I appreciate it. And hit the like button, share it. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe if you haven't. You won't miss out on a good time over here. We have a good time. We have fun over here, man, for real. Sometimes I don't like the stuff I heard from Taint's camp. It's like they're not on the same page. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, yeah. And then, you know, me, I started seeing, I was just like, oh, ooh. And then people want to come at you because people can't wait. They'll hear something over there. They can't wait to find a Tank fan and just, you know what I'm saying, try to jug them. And I'm like, look, man, you can't control what they say if they on the same shit of music or not. We know when they line up and they get inside that ring, so far, it's been good night Irene, you know what I'm saying, whenever they get in that ring. But outside of that, it do be some mixed signals. You know what I'm saying? Hard to defend some of that stuff. Matias could fight Boots. We brought that up. We did a video on that. That like, they pick and choose when it looks good. Exactly, Jose. Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like, help us. We want to support you. I mean, it's all good. If you ain't ready, you ain't ready. Richardson Hitchens pretty much came out and said you ain't ready, and everybody like, oh, well, that's a maneuver. But he was honest to say, look, man, I want to go this way and do it. At least he was honest. He was honest. Richardson Hitchens was the only one that was honest, and he actually went ahead and booked the fight and got something on the plate. So he kind of seemed more reasonable. He's just like, look, I ain't, you know. He pretty much was saying, I ain't really ready for that right now. I could respect that much easier than all this. I'm in the mess out with my chest out, and then it's like, oh, but no, that porridge is too hot. That porridge is too cold. That porridge, you know, is too salty. That porridge is too sweet. You know, I don't like that. Teofimo calling out Crawford because he knows Crawford legacy. A Dwarf or Teo fight. Teofimo has to see Matias, and Crawford has to get that title back from Ennis and then call out Canelo. I think that Canelo ship has sailed, brother. And Teofimo and Bud, that Teofimo might be looking good to Bud now because they say you don't miss the water till the well run dry. And I don't really see, I don't hear anything about a Jamel Charlo coming up. I didn't hear anything about it. Unless they're gonna spring that on us, like they got a Jamel in a Bud fight somewhere that they about to pop out on us. Who Tank? Easier said than done. Canelo went back to the zone after PBC wouldn't agree with Canelo and fighting Jamal for May 4th. Yeah, I'm not big on Canelo, man. I'm not, you know, I degaff about Canelo for real. You know what I'm saying? No offense to anybody that might be a big fan, but I'm not. Generations and generations. It already started, man. Generations and generations are looking behind him. He has a wonderful resume, you know, but It's just a lot of things that he's influenced a lot of people. You can already see in the movements and some other people. So he set a precedence. All these champions are setting precedence. This is why it's so important for us to get behind somebody like Subriel Matias, because he's setting a whole nother precedence. You know what I'm saying? So people behind him, champions looking up to him right now, is going to want to go behind the precedence that he's setting. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys are setting a precedence. You know, so I'm not big on Canelo, man. Eddie Hearn, I feel, is the only one that's making boxing great again, bringing Andy Cruz from Cuba, signing Matias, getting Canelo. Let's not forget that. Yeah, but I don't want to see Canelo against, Canelo against Berlanga, Canelo against Munguia. That's why I'm not big on it. Like them guys, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's him giving one of the young guys a shot like Floyd did. I supposedly, even though that's not the right guy to actually afford that opportunity. The right guy in that instance would probably be a David Morrell, like a passing of the torch. And if you can show out like Floyd did on you, then okay, cool. But I don't see Munguia going on and doing anything close to what Canelo was doing. And Edgar Berlanga, that remains to be seen. You know, that remains to be seen. That would be a good fight for Matias, but they all talk and don't do nothing. We need the boxing commission to put a cap on how many fights the fighters or promoters can pick. After that, mandatory. Yeah, I'm gonna start that. I'm gonna start that one right there. Yeah, that's a good point. Frankie Estrada, love your podcast. Subriel is #1. Salute. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, Frankie. What I said was hit the like button in Spanish. I got you. I'm learning though. I'm learning. I'm picking it up. Hitchens was honest. He was talking smack. Yeah. That's my guy, Michael Rogers, body work. My guy, 10 times 10 all the way. We're here supporting the kidneys are here. Angel Lopez, salute. You know what I'm saying? Y'all made me feel good, man. I like the energy over here, man. I really do. Hitchens wasn't talking smack. Yeah, he wasn't talking smack. I got you. I think everybody realized that. Yeah, he wasn't. He got something coming up too, him and Pacheco. I said before that I respect Hitchens because he keep it 100. You see how it's different. You see how I explain it. You know what I'm saying? I'll still identify as a maneuver. I'm still gonna promote. I'm still gonna speak about him in a positive light. And okay, you made a business decision, but at least you're not confusing your fans and throwing your fans around like rocks. Like Bob Arum said, he said boxing fans are like rocks. You can just throw them. They're gonna stay wherever they land. A lot of these boxers understand that. A lot of these promoters, a lot of these content creators understand that. They just was tossing this around. I said, me, I ain't getting tossed around no more. I'm anchored. I'm rooted and grounded. You know what I'm saying? I'm on what's hot. I'm on who's doing what's right by us and who got the energy that we need, who remains consistent, who ain't just gonna have us all confused, arguing. You see how these people be having everybody dizzy? Out here in these boxing talks, man, some of the conversations is going on. I'm like, man, is this about boxing or what? I'm not a big fan of Canelo either, but the dude is the cash cow. Yeah, he is. That's why I say I'm not gonna blame anybody for liking them or taking the fight. Bodywork will learn Spanish here, and no Rosetta Stone needed. A little bit by little bit. I've been, you know what I'm saying? I be working on my little phrases and stuff like that. I be talking to myself when I be in my truck, you know what I'm saying, trying to get it right. You know what I'm saying? But I got the link out there, man. If anybody want to chime in on this, you know what I'm saying, you got the floor. You got anything on your mind? Remember I say, man, all the time, this ain't just my platform. This is our platform. So if you got something positive, something encouraging, something to add to this conversation, something thought-provoking, have right at it. I'll be right here. You know what I'm saying? Chime in. But Canelo's legacy is going to be tarnished if he don't fight Benavidez. I mean, I think he got enough. He feel like he got enough money where he don't even care about people's opinion and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said we got to be cautious. Remember, I was talking about, I think that other live I did when I was talking about these walking Hall of Famers. You know, like when they still actually lacing up the gloves. Like having walking Hall of Famers is just, it's a scapegoat to be able to do whatever they like, whatever you want. Like it's a lot of people right now that will not put any pressure on Canelo in this state because they see Bud doing the same thing. They're not going to apply any pressure to Bud, but Canelo's doing the same thing. So they're going to ease up and make an excuse like, oh, you see all this narrative stuff? Like, why did it seem like it was shown that they mutually agreed to separate? But the narrative was Al couldn't afford it. Canelo kicked PBC to the side. Like, y'all gotta, those are gaslighting tactics, y'all. They said they both agree. This is like a good, like the ending of a good relationship. That when two parties say, you know what, we've grown apart. You know, we don't have the right chemistry no more. You know, I got goodwill, you know, intentions for you, but it's not gonna work. And y'all just gracefully just part ways. You know what I'm saying? But then this one go by, yeah, I kicked him out. You know what I'm saying? He had to go. He wasn't worth it. And then like, yeah, that broad was tripping. She ain't know how to do that. And it's just, but y'all mutually agreed to part ways. So I think a lot of people got caught up in the hype and got passed around like an old tennis ball all day today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, if Subriel is easy work, why isn't Tio after that belt? Because he's not. Frankie, you know what I'm saying? That's a eureka moment. That's why we keep saying, man, people be saying, oh man, he easily outboxed, easy. I'm like, man, y'all, it's just better to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if the money right, that's probably the best thing to say. That's probably the best thing to say. If you was in a position that somebody asked, would you fight that man? Your best response is probably to say, if the money right. Because they're going to be like, the money? Eddie might give you a call and figure out, okay, what you going to need to handle that. That might be the best response. I'm not going to charge you nothing for that. Just say, oh, is the money right? You know, I don't really want to entertain that because I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get my mind prepared to actually start getting ready for that fight. But if the money's right, oh yeah, I'm there with a flashlight and a road guard vest. And a hard hat. And some combat boots. You know what I'm saying? If that money right. That's probably the best answer. Hey, bodywork say, yeta. At this point, when you mention Canelo and Ryan, it's all about money at this point. You know what I'm saying? Salute Puerto Rican power. Body work, you know what I'm saying? That's what we do over here. Just a little body work, you know what I'm saying? Facts. Yeah. That's how it is, man. We just gotta decipher this conversation, you know what I'm saying? And it won't get you so your blood, it'll ease your blood pressure. Your stress levels will be all right. You won't have to have so many woo-saw moments, you know, because you're analyzing and you're looking at everything from a logical. It don't even get you upset. Like some of the stuff people say about Tank now, it kind of don't even get me upset. I do like to sometimes point out how somebody just like how they just have Tank on their mind, because a lot of times he just pops out of nowhere, like in all the conversation. I'm like, look, man, I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not a guard. I'm not a guard dog or nothing like that. But like what you saying don't sound right, man. And plus, we wasn't even talking about him. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't even talking about him, or the conversation wasn't even about that. Canelo has the boxing organization feeding off his hand. He's in control and not the other way around. It seems like that. You know what? You know what, man? I'm actually kind of excited. You know, when everybody was saying, you know, he booted PBC, I was like, oh, you know, I'm thinking in my head, I was like, man, maybe Al said good riddance. Cause what are people really getting? What are people really getting? They getting the Canelo experience to be able to say that they went to a Canelo fight. Okay, cool. That's cool, but you didn't want to rematch Bivol. You didn't want to dare to be great and let him come down there. Now he was going to suck down from 75 to go to 68 because he said that he wouldn't get no credit for beating you again at 75. He said so he wanted to challenge himself, cut that weight, and go down there and see you in your arena where you have everything to lose, and you said no. So that I you know, who am I? We need the likes up. How many likes we got, y'all? We don't got no likes. We slouching on the like button. I know we got, you know what I'm saying? I got to get better at looking at all that, man. I just be in here rocking and rolling, trying to get through the show. You know what I'm saying? And get through all my talking points. I think I kind of made my talking points. I think I kind of got the message that I wanted to get across, man. It's just, we got to be critical thinkers, man. And we got to we really got to consider what energy are we entertaining? What are we feeding? Whatever we're feeding is growing. You know what I'm saying? If you are feeding these food, because it's almost like now people will say something outrageous just because they know that somebody's going to come by and correct them. So as long as then they can get paid for it. So if I do something, I'm saying all this blasphemy, and the only way for you to correct me is for you to super chat me, I'm going to keep saying blasphemy. I'm going to keep putting out ridiculousness. You know what I'm saying? Just so you can super chat me to say, oh, no, man, because this is why. And you're pretty much arguing with yourself. "23 people in 19 life." That's not, I mean, shoot, that's all right, though. We four like shy. That's not too shabby. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot worse out here. I be seeing a lot worse out here. You know, I'm just glad I got my people. You know what I'm saying? We're going to grow. We're going to grow. You know why? Because every day somebody's getting sick and tired of being lied to. Sick and tired of sitting around for hours on end listening to somebody and ain't learn nothing. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get mentally stimulated at all. Nothing went off. They didn't feel good about nothing. Their morale wasn't enhanced. Their education wasn't enhanced. They didn't learn nothing about boxing. They didn't learn nothing, no current events. They just walked away just feeling like they wanted to go argue with their spouse. They wanted to go spank their children. You know what I'm saying? It's not here. Not here. You know what I'm saying? We put in that good work. But yeah, I'm gonna make this a short one, man. This was a short one. I wanted to get that out there because we gotta keep, the standard. We gotta keep the standard up for Subriel, man. We gotta keep, pushing forward. Ghost, salute Bodywork in the chat. Salute. I know Ghost hit that like button as soon as he came in. But we got to keep the energy behind the ones that's doing right, man. And we kind of got to use a level head, knowing that these guys got access to social media, and the way everything is painted, they feel like they got to jump on it because their peers are looking at them. And we got people that's going to go that extra mile to actually spear you, unless you get on there and check them. You know what I'm saying? Unless you get on there and check them. I just think that some of these people need some PR. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Dope. Salute, Smoke. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? That was a light one, a little light and tidy. You know what I'm saying? A little light and tidy for the night, man. I know that, man, y'all don't. I ain't gonna say I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying that I know we got good energy over here, and we're keeping the energy where it needs to be, right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know who's keeping the energy where it needs to be without ulterior motives. You know what I'm saying? Trying to pit people against each other and get hot takes and get more likes, clicks, and views. We don't do that, man. This is not I am gonna have those gag gifts. You know what I'm saying? We'll have those gag gifts. We'll have those gag gifts coming out. You know what I'm saying? But everybody ain't doing what needs to be done. Everybody not keeping it where it needs to be. They're not having the conversations the way they need to be had, and we're not really dissecting it with a whole lot of like real logic. It's just in this moment in time, if you're upset about something, you're gonna pick somebody and, you know what I'm saying, kick them in the shin. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna let anybody trigger us. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna continue to grow. Peace, my bro. Yeah. But that was a good one, man. I think we had a good little build. I gave y'all the opportunity to get up here and speak your piece if you wanted to, and we clarified some things. I painted some pictures, you know what I'm saying? We moved around some things and we really clarified. This is what we clarified. This is what's really going on, and this is what really needs to happen. This is where our energy need to be. We just got to understand that they got some work to do, and there are some circumstances that's preventing it, but that's the biggest fight that could be made. This right here is more of a smoke screen. You know what I'm saying? This is not no serious smoke. You know, the real deal need to be Matias and Teofimo Lopez, or Matias and Devin Haney. And if that's not happening for Subriel Matias, he need to just grab somebody with a pulse. You know what I'm saying? And, get him in the ring. I see you growing good content always. Salute. I appreciate that. PR Boxing. Let's get that body work. That's right. Boxio Loco. Salute, my brother. Salute. That's the joint right there. That's his little, what's the name right there? Salute. Yeah, man. I appreciate the energy, man. But anyways, y'all, thanks for tuning in here at Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to